Hello everybody, this is Starman and welcome back to Let's Play Tex Murphy Overseer. Well, last time you remember, we went back to the Law and Order Party building, we broke into John Klaus's lab, we found the 7th of the key cards we need, and right now we're about to head back to Tex's office, but we're going to have to be pretty quick about it, given where I saved the game, because even though we got to the exit, something funny I discovered, and you know what the heck, I'm going to show you. Because when I first loaded this save, yeah, this happened.
I could tell that wasn't going to work, so I tried a different approach.
Yeah, if this is what happens when you die in this game, you'll immediately have text say, well, obviously that wouldn't have worked, so here's what I actually did. And it's a bit like the undo from Eric the Unready, except unfortunately there's no convenient, oh hey, here's where you last were. So, load this again, and I'm going to make sure I keep this selected and go to Tex's office.
Sounds like I've got a message on the vid phone.
And nothing on the fax machine. I don't think we get any more packages, but just to be safe. Nice loud beep on that, though, isn't it? 2 messages.
I have a message for you. You'll probably think it's important. You can pick it up at my shop whenever you get the time to see me. Ciao for now.
Like I've got a message on the vid phone.
Yeah, we know we had another message. Okay, so we got something from the guy who hasn't really given us any information that I can remember.
Good afternoon, Mr. Murphy. I just wanted to call and thank you for bringing me the disc from Robert Knott. It has everything we need to take down the Law and Order Party. The evidence is overwhelming. I owe you a big favor. Within reason, of course. Thank you again.
Okay, I know it would do irreparable damage to the timeline, but can I go try and weasel a date out of her instead of continuing with this case and hooking up with Sylvia eventually? Please? Can we work on creating a special Overseer special edition where that's an option? I'd like to have that option. I know I've been spoiled by Pandora Directive, but having that as an alternate ending, even if it's not canon, that'd do me just fine. Thank you. Okay, so we can run through our avenues here. I don't think Eve... Yeah, Eve is not going to speak to us ever again. Dolores will not give us anything helpful. Mr. North Clinic isn't going to do anything. And I don't think she's going to be available from now on. I was wrong.
So, how is your investigation progressing?
Last chance for love. Google-eyed, stick to business.
Fine. You know, when I was here before, I forgot to mention that I cook, I clean, and I'm a love machine.
You flatter me, but I'd be more comfortable if we kept this professional. What have you found out?
Okay. Well, hey, we actually have a Crusade as an option and photo of Sylvia and Gideon. What the heck? Let's ride this out.
This must have been taken a while ago. Gideon hasn't gone out in public in months. Right now, we're working on exposing a faction inside Law and Order supposedly called the Crusade for Genetic Purity. We haven't been able to get our hands on any hard evidence, but we're sure it exists.
And, yeah, we know that eventually Capricorn will be trying to infiltrate that group and is going to get destroyed by the Crusade, unfortunately. Oh, what the heck. Let's see if we can do it.
Getting ready for your hunter's safety course there, Lieutenant?
I thought I told you to stay the hell out of my office.
Please. Eve. I'm walking in here on my hands and knees. I've just about cracked this case, but I need your help to finish it.
All right. But this is it. No more chances.
That'd be a little more final than that.
I haven't got any information on that.
Okay, you don't know about the racist loony group. Well, the other one.
Never heard of it.
Thank you and good night. Okay, well, enough about that. Yeah, we can still go back to the Anasazi ruin, even though I don't think there's anything there. Bosworth Clark's lab. Gideon is off the table now. I guess he really did go abroad. There's Val Davis's lab. Big Surf Lodge is an option. Let's go back to Val Davis's lab, because we do need to check out the rest of the cards we've gotten. Okay, so that's KF1, and that's card C. That's the castle card. And yeah, I have drawn out my own little grid here with the card number, or the card letter, the order in which we got the cards, the chess move on each corresponding card, the password to the corresponding cards. Okay, so that's BXE7. And bishop to D7. And again, as I said, weirdly enough, this is going to be important later. But with that done, let's head on down to the rank and file.
Sheesh, Jorge, you're not still playing the same game, are you?
So, you got my message.
Yeah, I did.
I was contacted on the internet by the poison pawn you asked me about. He sent an email for you.
For me?
It's over there on that computer.
Thanks.
There was no return address.
That's all right.
Of course, you know, there's no return address on email, but let me say, Mr. Murphy, if you want to know the truth about Linsky's suicide and its connection to the SDG project, meet me at the abandoned St. Thomas mission at midnight. If you're late or bring anyone with you, you won't find me. This is a matter of life and death. Yours, the Poison Pawn.
Well, everything about the message seemed legit. It was from the Poison Pawn, came through Valdez. It referred to things from Wanda Peck's anonymous letter. But my intuition meter was on the fritz. Was I being set up? Or was I about to meet the man behind the curtain? If so, who was it? J. St. Gideon? One of the supposedly dead scientists? Carl Linsky back from the grave? I waited till midnight and went to the rendezvous point. My instincts told me to beware of a trap, so I found a back door and went in that way. The place appeared to be empty, but I still needed to check out the clock tower. As it turned out, though, I had to search the ground floor first, and search pretty thoroughly before doing anything else.
Yeah, that is the hint to what may be one of the more aggravating, well, having to go through a conversation chain and find the right way to talk to a person, that's part and parcel of this game, and it's pretty fun. But the sequence that's coming up, it's impossible unless you pick up two items that we find in this room, this storage room that we're in. And if you don't have those two items, you can't advance in the game. Luckily, of course, there's only so much you can click on in here.
These crates don't look like they've been moved in quite a while. And the boxes are all in various stages of dry rot. These don't smell like barrels of fun. These don't look like they've been moved in quite a while. And the boxes are all in various stages of dry rot.
But we can move one of those boxes and open one of these.
My favorite kind of paneling. Electrical.
Now that turns on the elevator so we can actually use it.
Old toolboxes? Well, they're like Christmas presents for an amateur handyman like myself.
So the two items we need to grab are this oddly conspicuous knife.
Penknife. Perfect for cutting pens. Old toolboxes? Well, they're like Christmas presents for an amateur handyman like myself.
And we also need to, for no readily apparent reason,
A rock. I wonder if there's a hard place nearby.
we have to pick up this rock. And we have to take this rock with us. Now, I'm going to intentionally fail this sequence just to show you how annoying this can be.
This could open some doors for me.
But then we'll go through it the right way. Thrill as Tex rides the elevator! I know they're probably going for a Hitchcock-esque thing here, but it's just not happening. Oh yeah, guess we should have checked to see if she was still at my apartment.
Shame to cover such a beautiful mouth. Don't you think so, Mr. Murphy? It was necessary, of course. You see, I couldn't have Dulcinea warning off her knight errant from charging the windmill.
I was wondering when you'd crawl out of that rat's nest.
Contraire, Senor Quixote. It is you who are the rat. And you, my dear, the perfect piece of cheese.
Who's the poison pawn? Is it you? Is it Sylvia here?
Sylvia? The poison pawn? It was Miss Linsky's father who wrote the anonymous letter to Capricorn. We found copies of it while we were going through his papers after his unfortunate death.
So why'd you have to trick me into coming here?
I brought you here to offer you a trade. You tell me what you know, and I let the little missy free. So, let's begin with the STG pass cards. Where are they?
The best of my recollection there, somewhere on the Spanish High Plains with my trusted servant Sancho.
I can twist a metaphor too.
I've got him with me.
Excellent. Now, in 30 words or less, tell me everything you know about the STG project.
Not too much. I mean, I've heard implants, mind control, satellite tracking. And then there was that little experiment you pulled on me.
Unfortunately, it didn't work out quite as we had planned. You were supposed to be a good little detective and die, like Mr. Linsky.
I mean, Linsky was your friend. I'd hate to see what you'd do to your enemies.
Well, you're about to find out. Now, for the sake of Miss Linsky here, tell me what else you found out about.
Well, there's someone running around with the name Overlord. He seems to be running things. You know, I think that's you.
Excellent! Excellent! Now, as a token of my appreciation, one last kiss.
Why'd you tell him he's never gonna let me go?
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Mr. Murphy. It looks like she's not in the mood. For once! Well, let's just move on to the murder-suicide portion of the program, shall we?
You said you'd let her go. We made a deal.
Oh, Mr. Murphy. Please. Don't compound your gullibility with your stupidity.
Same thing.
I mean, she's more of a threat to me than you are. The mere fact that she's been intimate with several of my enemies, not to mention a handful of my allies, makes her a real threat.
You're a liar! Don't listen to him, Tex. I've never had anything to do with Klaus or any of it. I swear it.
Well, I didn't say you were involved. But I do realize you have the capacity for treachery. I mean, for all I know, you may be as innocent as you claim to be. I'm just not a risk taker. Oh, don't look so sad, Tex. At least you know that you were the last, I mean, perhaps she even cared for you. As much as he's capable. Well, down to business. Mr. Slade? Mr. Slade? I leave the necessary unpleasantries in your capable hands.
My pleasure, Mr. Klaus.
That was close. I was beginning to wonder how we were going to get out of this.
Don't stop wondering on my account. See, the way I got it figured, once I get all those postcards, someone will pay top dollar to get them back. I was just taking out the middleman.
If you take a personal check, I'd be happy to put in my bid.
Well, I appreciate the offer, but I don't think you're in the right tax bracket. I was thinking more along the lines of, say, Jason Gideon. So, who wants to go first?
And hey, we finally have control of our own destiny again. But yeah, cheesy performance by Joe Estevez. Not that we'd expect anything different. I'm half sure that they caught him on the way to a costume party where he was going as a cowboy and said, "Hey, would you like to be in our movie?" Okay, I kid, but yeah, I'm getting Legend of the Rollerblade 7 flashbacks watching that sequence. Luckily, it's short. Anyway, let us go ahead and take the coward's way out, run for the elevator. That obviously does not work. We need to, because, you know, we're the big damn hero. We need to find some kind of a way to save Sylvia. And, yeah, a very long video clip there. And run for the light switch? Well, we can try that. That also does not work. And we don't even get a, well, obviously that's not what I did, from Tex here. So we will make a last request.
I will. I wonder if you'd consider granting me a last request.
I suppose. As long as it's reasonable.
Let's see, offer a trade, give me 3 steps, ask for one last kiss. Of course, we are going to go for the one last kiss because, you know, this is on the, you know, evil overlord's rule list. Never let the hero ask for a last kiss because they're going to do something clever. Now we just have to figure out something clever to do.
Could I kiss Sylvia goodbye? At least that way, I could die a happy man.
Well, I wouldn't want you to die. I'm happy. Go ahead. But don't do anything stupid.
You're asking way too much of me. So we've got give the pass cards to Sylvia, escape plan, run for it, give the penknife to Sylvia. You know, just for the heck of it, I want to see what happens. Because this does nothing to help us.
I'm gonna find a way to get us out of this, okay?
Conveniently rubber banded together. You didn't see that, did you? He totally saw that because he's not an idiot.
Nice try, Murphy. A little more practice, you might have pulled it off. As it is, I have what I need, so I guess you're expendable.
Okay, so last request, one last kiss, and we are going to give her the knife because she's tied up. That's not going to help us. So we're going to give her the knife, and it's a good thing we picked that up totally at random, isn't it?
I'm gonna find a way to get us out of this, okay?
Of course, he doesn't notice the much larger knife, but he saw the cards.
Oh, that was very touching. Now let's get down to business. So who's first?
Let's see, we got run for the lift, beg for your life, challenge Slade. Oddly enough, the option here, buy for time, gonna challenge him.
You know, Slade, any little girl looks tough with a gun. Why don't you pretend you're a real man? Let you and I go mano a mano, huh?
I'll give you one thing, you've got guts. All right. I'll make an exception this one time.
Okay, well, a couple options here. Run for the lift, go for the light switch, then run for the lift, go for the light switch, then hide, go for the light switch, then go for the gun, or just go for Klaus's gun, which is still there on the ground. In this case, stealth is our ally. Go for the light switch, then hide in the darkness.
No honor among thieves, eh, Murphy? Why don't you just come out first? Make things easy on yourself. If you don't, I might just kill your girlfriend first.
Yep. Throw the rock at Slade, use the rock as a diversion, go for a shield. Yeah, rock against gun, not a good idea, so use the rock as a diversion. And again, isn't it lucky we decided to just pick up this random rock?
You can't hide forever. I'll get you sooner or later. Soon is better for me.
Okay, so grab a shield, run for the lift, go for Klaus's gun, run for it, grab the shield, then go for Klaus's gun, or grab the shield and run for the landing. Whatever buys us the most time. Of course, a garbage can lid can't stop a bullet. It might slow it a little.
Okay, Slade, I give up. I'm not gonna get out of this situation alive anyway. I do have a proposition for you.
For some reason, you don't seem to understand. I don't need to make a deal with you.
Toss him the pass card, toss the Law and Order pass card, buy some time. Stalling has worked so far.
You want to blackmail Gideon, don't you? To do that, you're gonna need all 8 STG pass cards. I know where you can get 7 of them.
What sort of a bloody drongo do you think I am?
Stall some more. Toss pass card into the clock gears. Hopefully we can get it back.
Here's the STG pass card that Sonny stole from you. You let Sylvia and me go, I'll get you the other 6. Oops. Tell me something. Why did they call you Big Jim Slade?
Well?
Yeah, that clarifies.
Well, if that didn't, these will. Ow, that wasn't too fair.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
That's too bad. You know, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but you are good. You are very, very good. You give lessons?
Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, this one's on me. Oh, look. Time to die.
Slade!
This is for Sonny.
And yeah, it turned out that was a squirt pistol.
Okay, did you overhear anything else?
No.
All right, look. Take this. You keep your eye on him. Cops will be here in a bit, so he shouldn't be a problem, but there's something he's got that I need.
Tex, about that thing that Klaus said about me.
Look, Sylvia, your business is your business.
No,
I understand, okay?
Please, please listen.
It's okay, really. The past is the past.
It's important to me. I want to tell you there's been some things in my life that I'm not very proud of. I used to work for an agency, an escort agency.
If I get out of this, I'm gonna bite your bloody leg off.
If he says one more thing, I want you to just shoot him.
I've known a lot of guys, but that was the past. It's behind me now.
And it's all right, okay? I mean, really, it's all right with me. It really doesn't matter, so relax, okay?
But I want it to matter to you. I've never had anything to do with Klaus or Law and Order or any of it.
What the hell is this? Card. Got it. Keep your eye on him,
I'm
okay?
a new woman now. I'm not the person I used to be.
Right.
Oh, come on. You did not fall for that old line, did you?
No, no way.
Yes, you did, didn't you? Oh. Okay, so how did Sylvia justify this whole escort thing with you?
Well, I guess she'd just gotten into modeling, was barely getting by. A friend told her of a great way to make money.
Yes.
I guess that's the only reason she did it.
Oh, likely story.
Yeah, well, I guess I was pretty gullible back then. Anyway, while Slade and Klaus were waiting for me to show up, Sylvia overheard them talking. Apparently, Klaus had operated on Carl Linsky. When he removed the tumor, he replaced it with an implant that eventually drove Linsky insane. Slade just tracked him to make sure he committed suicide.
I still think my theory's better.
Well, I told you yours was a better story. But regardless, Klaus was using Linsky as a guinea pig for the Law and Order Party for what they intended to use Overlord for.
Did Sylvia overhear anything else?
Yeah, she did, as a matter of fact. Now, Klaus still wasn't sure where the Overlord main computer was, but he suspected it was at J. St. Gideons Mansion.
And that's where you went next.
Right. When I told Sylvia, she said she knew how I could get in.
A shortcut to the bedroom, I'll bet.
Actually, that's what it was. Look, don't say it. I know I was a moron, but she did get me inside the mansion. So there I was, standing in Gideon's bedroom without any idea of what I was looking for.
Naughty pictures of Sylvia?
You really do have a one-track
mind. Alright, so we are in J. St. Gideon's bedroom. You'll note the chess and knight motif continues here. And yeah, Gideon's house. But before we continue any further, we do need to make one quick side trip back to Val Davis's lab so that we can check out the final card.
Well, I don't have a password for Klaus's card. Something tells me I'm going to need one before this thing is over. Maybe I should look around his office.
Yeah, thankfully we have that already. It would be Castle. And we have the chess move, pawn to e7, or pawn takes e7. So yeah, that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pass cards. Think we've got all the passwords for them now. Oh, wait, Castle was for the other one. But, well, it's pretty easy to figure out if you remember the motif from everything in Klaus's office, which was knights. So with that done, let us return to Gideon's house. And check out this conspicuous piece of paper sitting right out here in the open.
Looks like some type of schematic drawing.
XT 11500 ARM system, test pattern sequence diagram, gallery floor plan danger, all walls in central gallery become charged when test pattern is initiated. And we just have this whole thing here where looks like it cycles through this pattern. And we will get to that later.
Gideon must use these for strength training. Sylvia was probably more of an aerobic workout.
I'll take that bar, why not?
Court, a novel by the author of Joy of Chess, More Joy of Chess, and everything you've ever wanted to know about chess but were afraid to ask. These must be antiques. Antiques. I figured Gideon would have a bed like Scrooge McDuck's. Ah, the 9 Knights of St. Gideon. Galahad, Lancelot, Hector, Harry, Hotspur, Haggis, Deadeye Dick, the Shadow, and Fierce Fred, who was the smallest and hungriest knight of them all. This adds a pleasant tropical touch.
And you'll note that we have this chessboard motif here.
I could stare at this painting for like 8 seconds without getting bored. The sculpture is just like the one in my office. Of course, that's like comparing an actual Lamborghini to the Matchbox version. I'm fairly sure that's a queen. Look, a rook. Looks like a bishop-shaped lamp. Wow, that's a pretty horsey. That's a pawn. Probably ought to have my face on it. It looks like solid gold. Gideon must have paid a king's ransom.
And that is, of course, a king.
Abner, the juggling angel. Abner, the juggling angel. These must be antiques.
And nothing useful in there. Can't even click on the other one.
Gideon's all set up for a round of tag team chess. These must be antiques. Chess set seems to be missing a few pieces. About 26 of them. Wonder why.
Well, the reason is that you'll note that we've got one of each of all the 6 types: a pawn, a king, a queen, a rook, a knight, and a bishop. And if you look at the statues here, you'll note that we have one of each of the 6 types of chess pieces. So, even though it's not immediately obvious, the trick here is that we're supposed to set the pieces on the map up to correspond with where they are placed on the chessboard in the room. So we'll go ahead and use this here. And funny, the pieces were pure white before, and they seem to become black. But yeah, we have the king over here. The pawn was one down from that. The queen was immediately across from the king. Let's see, the rook is just down from the queen as well. It is, and I drew this map out before ahead of time. It's 3 down. The bishop is on the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the knight is... Actually, it's there. Well, I thought it was. 3, 1, 2, rook's there, 5, 6. Bishop is 1, 2, 3, 4 from there.
The sculpture is just like the one in my office. Of course, that's like comparing an actual Lamborghini to the Matchbox version.
Okay, so yeah, rook is 3 over on the first row, and the queen is 2 over from there. Rook is on white. Bishop is on 4th row. Knight is 1 over from, yeah, 1 diagonally from the far corner. Knight's there, pawn's there. Although I'll bet... Do I have to look at him first? Maybe. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see, because that's supposed to be a white space there. So I have to make it correspond to... Yeah, because see, knight's on white space there. So we actually have to make it correspond to the other way. So we'll go ahead and move the king here, move the pawn where the queen is, move the queen there, move the rook 2 over, move the bishop 4 over, and then move the knight there.
Something big just opened up around here.
Okay. We found an elevator going down somewhere.
An elevator. Well, like they say, what goes up must come down. I stepped out of a secret elevator onto a balcony overlooking a huge gallery filled with priceless paintings, beautiful sculptures, and classic statues.
In other words, a place where you were completely out of your element.
If you're implying that I have poor taste, then wouldn't that reflect poorly upon my choice of dates?
All right, I take it back. Continue.
Well, large chandeliers hung from the ceiling, and across the room I could see a set of doors. Unfortunately, the floor of the gallery was pressure sensitive and lit up with extremely high voltage. There had to be some way to get across, but it certainly wasn't obvious just how I was supposed to do it.
And yes, this floor plan that we found here does correspond to the gallery. And this, for my money, is the single most annoying puzzle in the whole game. And I'm not gonna make any bones about it. I am cheating to get past this one, because for the life of me, I don't remember how I got through this, how I figured this out, or how I had the patience to pull this off back when I first played this game. Because the trick is that we have to go and we have to, after we get to a certain control panel, activate this so that we'll then cycle through this whole pattern. The thing is, there's no visual cues as to when the panels are switching, so you have to memorize the sequence and then just go by sheer timing. Because the far end here is where we are right now, this end right here is where the double doors leading out are, and you'll note there's only like 1 split second where you can get through that section. Otherwise, it is just completely and totally... And then, you know, if you don't get there in that one split second, everything gets electrified at once. And it begs the question, what kind of floor plan security system is this that they have something like this instead of just having the whole thing electrified the whole time? I mean, what's the point except to offer a challenge to an adventure gamer? In the reality of the world, this doesn't make a damn bit of sense, even to the limited extent to which the Tex Murphy universe even makes sense. So that is why I'm going to enter the cheat code, because there is a special cheat code, not the 9111, which allows you to get through any sequences where you need to basically phase through a wall. But before that, we will get to that sequence.
Sturdy brass railing. Could probably support a lot of weight. And it looks like it's coming loose.
Okay, so we grab that railing.
Sturdy brass railing.
And we can do the same here. And we got this metal bar. So how are we getting across this floor? Well, now we don't use this to go across the whole floor. That would be way too easy and make too much sense.
This must raise and lower the chandelier so it can be cleaned.
And yet this chandelier is somehow sturdy enough to allow us to do this.
Oh, I would have loved to have seen that. I can just imagine you shimmying across on that pole.
It's my formal dance training. Luckily, there was a big control panel on the outside of one of the walls. I just had to find it.
Hint, hint.
This painting has a somewhat religious feel to it.
As do most of the paintings in here.
This painting has a somewhat religious feel to it.
And yeah, some of these do have individual descriptions.
Now, I'm no expert, but I'm guessing Gideon didn't buy this one at Prince Plus. I've always thought that sculpture and surrealism went together like peanut butter and tuna fish. It has a somewhat religious feel to it. It reminds me of my last girlfriend. Nice body, but nothing upstairs. It has a somewhat religious feel to it. I dressed up like this once. Of course, I was holding a beer at the time.
Of course.
Key to a good devil kebab? First, use only fresh devils. It has a somewhat religious feel. It has a somewhat religious feel to it. Ah, the statue of Peter. I mean David.
Badumch.
That was completely Greek to me.
So, yes, this outside panel we're looking for. Right there. And oddly enough, activating the panel to make it go all random also electrifies the walls. Why the walls aren't electrified the whole time? Well, because we need to challenge the adventure gamer. So we'll go ahead and save here in case I do this code the wrong way.
Need to jump down to the floor inside the display walls.
Okay, so the code here is Alt-D. And now I should just be able to walk right to the exit without...
That wouldn't have been the best way to handle the situation.
Yeah. Okay.
Need to jump down to the floor inside the display walls. So I had no choice but to pursue another solution.
Okay, apparently the cheat code is not going to work on me at this moment, or I forgot what it was. I thought it was Alt-D, but... or the game is deciding to be difficult and not let me cheat my way out of this. But you know what? I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me cheat my way through this, or try and work my way through this, or heaven help us, actually try and play through this the way they intended. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here. We'll close this chapter out, and next time, hopefully we will be able to get through the rest of the game. We'll see you then for the thrilling conclusion of Tex Murphy Overseer. I hope.